Hey there, it's Sarah, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't feel like doing a workout today. That's why I didn't even put on workout clothes. But when you think of exercise as any mindful movement that's going to benefit your body's functionality, it gets a little easier to talk yourself into doing that exercise every day. And here at 12 Minute Fit, my goal is to help everybody keep moving even when your body doesn't feel like moving, especially on those busiest days when all you have is 12 minutes to give yourself. So today, we're going to focus on the muscles of the lower legs, the ankles, the calves, the feet, the knees. So kick off your shoes because this workout is best done barefoot, and you're going to need a chair that you can sit in as you work because that's where we're going to start. And you need that chair because at some point you're going to bring your heels to the legs. So make sure that you're sitting towards the edge of your chair. Sit up really tall. I always remind you to engage your core as you exercise. Pull that belly button in. Keep a strong posture. And we're just going to start by rocking back and forth from our heels to our toes for 45 seconds while we sit in our chair. So lift up those toes, then lift up the heels as fast or as slow as you would like to go. Just starting to move those muscles in the feet, the ankles, wake up the calves. And we're just going back and forth. As you lift up onto those toes, send those heels right over the center of the foot. And then as you lift up onto the heels, try to lift those big toes up towards your knees. 20 more seconds here. So we don't often work our feet and our ankles, but they're great to help you in your everyday life. It's going to improve your balance when you have stronger feet and ankles. You're just going to move better. You're going to walk better. If you're a runner, of course, you're going to run faster. Hopefully with stronger feet and ankles. Now we're going to go back and forth from side to side. So we're going to go to the pinky toes and the big toes. Notice that your knees are rocking in and out. Your hips are doing some movement. Can we focus more on the feet? Bring your hands to your knees and try to only move those feet. Of course, you're going to feel a little movement in those knees. They're all connected. But see if you can pick up the big toes and then the pinky toes. And think about the center of the foot. Pick up that arch and try to press it down. We're going to do this for 15 more seconds. Keeping that strong posture, sit tall. My feet are starting to pop as they wake up. Yours might as well. While your hands are on your thighs, we're going to apply a little pressure to those thighs, and we're going to lift the heels up into a calf raise. Push into the balls of the feet and press your hands into your legs. So we're adding a little tension, making those ankles and calves work just a little bit harder. Again, we're sending the heels over the middle of the foot. We want those ankles under the knees. And feel all 5 toes connected to the floor, but you're going to have a little more pressure towards the big toes. 15 more seconds. Don't forget that belly button. Pull it up and in. Keep that core engaged as you work. For 5 more seconds. Then we'll let the hands go off of the legs. Pick one leg and you're just going to straighten it out in front and then just tap the toes back on the floor. So extend and bend. We're going to try to bring that foot up in line with the knee. We're going to pull that kneecap up towards the thigh. And we're still sitting really tall. Try to flex your foot. Keep pulling those toes up towards the knee as you extend that leg out. 20 more seconds. We're starting to feel some quad activation. We're feeling that knee as we pull that kneecap up. Feel those muscles right around it. Keep flexing that foot. Feel those muscles right down the shin bone. And get ready to switch legs. Other leg, extend and tap. Flexing that foot, keeping that knee in line with the hip, and then lifting that heel up in line with the knee. Feeling that quad engagement, pulling that kneecap up. Continuing to move for 22 more seconds. And then we're going to plant both feet right under those knees. You're choosing how fast you're extending and bending, but don't go too fast. You want to feel that muscle engagement. not the momentum. All right, feet under those knees, and we're gonna bring our hips up off of the chair. We're just gonna hold ourselves here. This is where that core engagement is going to help out that low back. Keep your chest lifted, and let's start to rock forward and back through those feet. So lift the heels a tiny bit off the floor, and then try to lift those toes up off the floor. Just going back and forth, keeping those hips right off of the seat. So we don't want to come out of this little squat too far. 15 more seconds, and then we're going to sit back down in our chair. Keep going. Don't let those hips come up too high. Keep rocking back and forth. 3 more seconds. Take a seat. Now we're going to bring those heels to the legs of the chair. We're going to keep the ball of the foot a few inches away from the leg and the heels resting on it. Then we're going to pull those heels away from the chair and slowly, softly tap them back down. So lift those heels as far away from the chair as you can, and then slowly tap them back down. Don't just let them flop back down. Control it. Again, we want to feel all 5 toes on the floor, and then a little bit more pressure into those big toes. The heel is going over the center of the foot, and we're slowly bringing those heels back towards the legs of the chair. Now, set the heels down, and let's pick those toes up off the floor and slowly bring them back down. So don't just let them drop back down. Slowly control lowering those toes back to the floor. And when you set them down, make sure that pinky toe also sets down. Don't stop at the first 2 toes. Bring them all to the floor, and then lift them all up as high as you can. Really thinking about pulling those big toes up towards the knee, but lifting the whole top of the foot. We're standing up at the bell, and we're going to use the chair for some balance if you need it. So take a second, roll those ankles, release it, and then you can come to the back or the side of your chair and use it for some balance. Because we're going to do calf raises, feet under those hips. Make sure they're parallel. Start to engage that core, engage your glutes a little bit, and then lift those heels up, and we're going to slowly bring them back down. Maybe hover them off the floor, or just lightly tap them back down. Keeping that strong posture, shoulders back and down. Sending those heels again over the center of the foot, slowly lowering them back to the floor. You can lightly tap them, or you can hover off the floor. Try to keep those legs straight. And we're really feeling the back of those lower legs, into those ankles, tops of the feet. We're going to reverse this at the bell, setting the heels down, and then lifting those toes up and slowly bringing them back down. This time we want to bring all 5 toes light on the floor. My feet are popping, yours might be as well. Giving those feet a little bit more mobility than they're used to. So they're really waking up. Keep those thighs active, lift those kneecaps, and you can sit the hips back a little bit as you pick up those toes. We're going to walk around like this when you hear the bell. So we're going to keep the toes off the floor. The hips will be back just a little bit to compensate. And just try to walk around. Slight bend in those knees, toes up off the floor. And just walk around in your space. Try to keep those toes up the whole time. If they need to come down, that's okay. Bring them down for a second, then reset back up onto those heels. This might feel really weird if it's something you're not used to doing. Great to move your body in different ways. Keep going, 15 more seconds. Maybe those tops of the feet are really screaming at you. They're awake now. We're going up on the toes when you hear the bell. And we're going to walk around on tippy toes. So try not to flare the ankles. And let's walk around on those tip toes. Those heels are going to stay over the center of the foot. And you're going to push the ball of the foot down. Feel all 5 toes on the floor. Little bend in those knees as you walk around. Your core is still engaged. That will help with your balance. If you lose your balance, no worries. Just come back up onto those toes when you're ready. 20 more seconds. Walk it around as high up as you can on the ball of the foot. And then when we hear the bell, we're going to walk backwards. Great for the knees to change the way that they move. So they're used to us walking forward. Let's take a few steps backwards. Just within your space, a few steps one way, turn it around, take it back. We're going to go from the ball of the foot down to the heel as we walk backwards. 20 more seconds. And then we get to stretch things out for a couple of minutes. Keep walking backwards. 12 more seconds. Make sure you're peeking over your shoulder and not bumping into any furniture. You can use your chair when you hear the bell. We're going to start to stretch out those legs. So step one foot back behind you, bend into that front leg, and then we're going to push the heel into the floor. You can lean forward a little bit, really press the heel down. And then we're going to step the foot in just a little bit, and we're going to bend the knee as we push the heel down. You can go side to side just a little bit through the ankle. You can back up off of it at any time. Switch feet, step back long, press the heel down, bend into that front leg, maybe bring your weight forward and then push that heel back. And then at the bell, we're going to step the foot in and we're going to bend the knee. But you still have about 10 seconds here. You can back up off of it at any time. Start to step that foot in, bend the knee, and push the heel down. Again, if it feels good, go side to side just a little bit through that ankle. Loosen up that joint. Back up off of it when you need to. Get back into it when you're ready. We're going to sit on the chair for our last minute to stretch the top of the foot. So when you hear this bell in about 5 seconds, you can sit back down in your chair. And you're just going to pick one foot, tucking the toes under the chair. We're going to bring the top of the foot towards the floor. So press that heel forward, really point those toes back. If you need a second, shake out the foot and then go back to it. This might feel really strange for you if it's not something you're used to stretching out, but it's great for those feet. When you hear the bell, we're going to switch feet.
Activity completed.
We missed something. Press that heel down. We're going to stretch out that opposite foot before we finish up. Take another breath or two here. Press that heel forward. And then you can call it a day because it's been 12 minutes. 12 minutes of mindful movement to better improve your body's functionality. Today, your feet and ankles improved just a little bit. Those calves got a little bit stronger. Those knees a little bit stronger. Maybe this is a great one you can hit when you're in the office and you need a 12-minute break from your desk. Get up, walk around on those heels, on those toes, and I'll let you get back to your day. Unless you've got 12 more minutes, hit play on another video. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.